War. War never changes.
Welcome, one and all, to War Never Changes, episode number 29. There were a litany of titles for this episode. I think the one that Phil wanted to use was Bryan Adams Loves You, because for whatever weird reason, Phil was having a very magical moment with Bryan Adams and his new headphones. And we wanted to do this crazy intro with Phil holding an Xbox cradled in his arms, but I didn't do any of that. So just use your imagination and pretend that Phil is being serenaded by Bryan Adams singing Heaven in his hotel room. He could be in there now. I can't see what's behind that
You
door. I don't know what's going on.
fucking lazy, worthless piece of
You
shit.
know, the amount of crap that I have done for this crap is baffling. But unfortunately, I did draw the line at a very odd, most likely copyright stricken vignette of Bryan Adams. But I don't know. Maybe in the future we'll figure out something. But for now, YouTube and their evil corporate policies reign supreme. But this is War Never Changes. This is our weekly video game podcast. Whether we record on time or later, because Phil is a hardworking man, we are trying to bring you a new show each and every week. Phil, sir, how are you doing on this fine PlayStation Eve?
I'm tired. My back hurts. And I'm probably not going to get a PlayStation.
So, yeah, that's actually a good place to start. I do appreciate that you put together some fabulous show notes, and we will refer to them because it's amazing. And this is like, I think, the third week in a row you've done show notes. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I love it. Keep it up. Thank you. It helps a lot. But clearly, we are now in the next generation of gaming. Some people have been fortunate enough to get their hands on their Xbox Series S or Xbox Series X consoles. Some people have been fortunate enough through whatever magic to get a PlayStation 5 early, but most of us will probably start seeing them tomorrow. The question is, first and foremost, talk to me about pre-order status. Where are you in the chain? How many times have you refreshed the FedEx website? What is going on in that cute little perm head of yours? I want to hear it all.
The order status is for all three of the consoles which I have oversight on, three out of the four. Rachel, it's up to Rachel for the fourth. And I'm not going to bother her under any circumstances about something so stupid. That will come when it comes. There's no movement. Order received September 9th and then nothing.
On anything. So, just for my memory, because there was a while that I was ordering stuff for you, then you ordered stuff for you. You have consoles where right now? Where are you? What vendors have you selected?
I have three with Walmart and one with Amazon.
Oh,
Wah, wah, wah.
and you don't have anything with like Target or Best Buy or GameStop?
No, I couldn't. I couldn't get in. I couldn't get into those. I don't know how you did, but I couldn't.
Yeah, I guess I got a little more fortunate in that sense. But so with me, so I'll give you, I have a little bit different status. With me, I had pre-orders everywhere. Amazon, except for GameStop. I had Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Amazon. Those are the four that I had. Um, I ordered my I'm sorry, not dual sense, my Pulse 3D headphones from Target forever ago. And I got them later than you and later than a lot of other people. Without any shipping information, they just showed up. And that did not give me the warm fuzzies on Target. So I canceled my PlayStation order from Target, and I said I'm not dealing with this. So I'm out of the Target game. I dumped Target last week. Surprisingly enough, though, Demon Souls, which is the game I'm most looking forward to playing, Demon Souls actually showed up like 3 days ago. No tracking information, just Demon Souls. So definitely some issues going on there with Target. Walmart, I also canceled because I had been reading Walmart was having significant issues, and I was like, well, I feel pretty confident about Amazon and feel pretty confident about Best Buy. I canceled Walmart. Today, I got a notification from FedEx that the PlayStation will be here on Friday, despite the fact I canceled it. I'm sure I'm going to be charged. I don't think there's any free rides here. But I did get a notification that a PlayStation will be here on Friday from Walmart. Solutions to Go, which is their middleman, I guess, or whatever.
I didn't get shit.
I didn't get shit. Also, Amazon says that they have shipped, but I have no tracking information on that either. So I don't know. I have very little confidence, and I sent you right before that we recorded the show, I looked. It's over 220 pages now. It's over 10,500 posts on Reset Era of people just on PlayStation talking about trials and tribulations of cancelizations, bad customer service, incorrect customer service, random orders being canceled, random orders being delayed for seemingly unknown time. It is a total mess. So I have zero confidence that in 24 hours from now, one, I'll have power because of this hurricane, and two, because I have had really bad luck with pre-orders in the past. So you are not alone. I am feeling your pain. The majority of the world is feeling your pain. There's a very small vocal minority of people that have consoles, but what do you think's going on, man? Why have we not figured this out in 2020? What do you think?
Because all the major distribution companies that would normally be brought in on a third-party basis to help with this are strapped and overloaded, and they're at capacity with their routes, and so are all the traditional people like UPS and FedEx and all that stuff. So unless Walmart's going to run their own 18-wheelers down the road, which they can't do that either because they don't have enough in their route to take. They don't have enough in their fleet to take away from their normal routes to go do that. So. It's just 2020 go brr, you know, you know what I mean? So,
right.
And like your situation's even more fucked. I can read the headline. I can read the Florida man kills neighbors because he received PlayStation 5s, but had no power.
So I'm sure I've told this story on this show before, but my Xbox Series, not Series X, my Xbox One X, the Project Scorpio Special Edition, was delivered to my next door neighbor, and I was waiting for it. FedEx said it delivered. I went outside, I did not see it, and I started scouring the community. And thankfully, my neighbor had it sitting on his driveway. And no shame, I walked right up, just took it right off his driveway and went home because I knew it was mine. It was addressed to me. I think back, I've told the story on the show with the Xbox 360 where there were 17 units. I got the 17th like Pro or the Elite unit. It just seems to me that in general, we still haven't figured out how to properly track these things. And I get it. What you're saying is true. COVID has put a lot of strain on delivery. I know my wife and I, we very rarely go out. We get almost everything delivered now. A lot of food deliveries, a lot of just anything we used to get, we get delivered now. It sits in the garage for a few days before it comes in. So I get it. I know I'm not the only one doing that, but do you think that PlayStation, when they turned around and said, hey, Walmart, hey, Best Buy, whoever, go ahead and sell these things, do you think PlayStation lived up to their end of the agreement? Do you think these are sitting in a warehouse, a Walmart-owned warehouse or a Best Buy-owned warehouse somewhere? Or do you think that Walmart has nothing and they're not wanting to throw their friend's PlayStation under the bus? What do you think? What do you think the problem lies there?
Well, one, everything that you buy sits out in your garage for a couple days before it comes in, except the PlayStation. That's coming right in, guaranteed.
Certain collector editions, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, my Reaper statue, My Doom Eternal mouse pad that you got me, yeah, those come in immediately.
You could literally watch your FedEx delivery guy lick that box, and it would come in the house
If
immediately.
it is packaged well, and I feel as if it's been in a package for a few days, I'm a little more willing to, but I still open a lot of it outside. Like I might just bring the console in tomorrow, assuming I get it or whenever.
Jim's full of shit. He's gonna run in with that console under his arm like he's got a football.
It's a big football. That thing's like
I
20
guess and
freaking
second,
pounds. But yeah, really, where do you think the issue lies here? Because this is, and I'm picking on PlayStation, but you could easily apply this to Xbox as well.
nope. No, it's not PlayStation. We saw the pictures of the container ship coming from Japan months ago, with the shipment of PlayStation. So they've been in America and been able to circulate around for at least a couple weeks. And my second point was, you asked, is Walmart keeping its friends Sony from getting thrown
Yeah.
under the bus? I think that we've seen time and time again that Walmart doesn't give a shit about Sony or what they have to say at all.
Specific to
little bit, like-
Walmart, yes, and that's the weird thing about all of this. It seems like every console launch, we always have some weird issue. This one seems particularly odd considering Walmart jumped the gun from what we can tell, and we'll never know the truth per se. Walmart seemed to jump the gun on pre-orders before anybody else, and I remember you and I incredibly nerve-wracking experience a couple weeks ago or whenever those pre-orders went live.
2 months.
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah, it seemed like yesterday, but I do remember it fondly, and maybe not so fondly. I remember it vividly. Jumping the gun, Walmart out of nowhere releasing pre-orders. Very odd. Then everybody else is like, oh shit. And then they all start piling on. And it seems to me, from what I can tell, everyone's getting their stuff out except Walmart. Like, so a lot of people who probably bought it and go, oh, I got a confirmation number, I'm set. Not the case anymore. And to add insult to injury, on the official Walmart page, I'm reading the tweet right now, they are going to release even more PlayStations tomorrow throughout the day at specific times. So people like yourself, like myself, who canceled one but still seem to be getting one maybe, who did the right thing and pre-ordered it a long time ago, there's a chance some asshole is going to pre-order it tomorrow and get it before you.
That's true. That's true. There is that chance.
It's frustrating as heck.
I would give anything. I'd give anything just to get an email with a tracking number in it. I just want some hope.
Keep hope alive.
I just want some hope. But, I mean...
Well, your situation's a little unique in the fact that you're not going to be around until like Friday or Saturday. So I have friends who are going on vacation, who are leaving on vacation today, who've pre-ordered one, who are really nervous about it because it's going to be sitting outside. So they're asking hey, can you go over to my house and check if I give you the tracking number? They're going to have their mom or whatever come get it for them. So there's that. Is it going to run? I've seen a lot of problems with Xbox having CD drive issues where the CD drive doesn't work, or it ticks, or it vibrates, or it buzzes. Is the service going to be live? Clearly, we tried to get together last night, and there were some issues that thankfully panned itself out on the Xbox side. So there's you got to get a console first. Does it work? Does the service work? Like, this is a perfect storm. It really, really is.
The stars really have to align to have a good experience.
Yeah, you're really right. They do. So I don't know if, I mean, I think back on it now. I mean, here we are. Maybe I'll get one before you. Maybe I'll get two, one I didn't pay for, although I'm sure they're going to backcharge me. What do you think now, looking in hindsight, could you have done differently?
Nothing.
Right.
I tried ordering. I think you remember I was sitting on the side of a sketchy street when Best Buy went live again the second time that night to give more pre-orders. I couldn't
got
get
shanked.
in. I couldn't get in with Target. I couldn't get in with, I mean, to be honest, I didn't try with GameStop, which I let my bride get in the way there because people are getting them from GameStop. So, I don't know. But, dude, like, we have to time out on all this because this is all speculation. Nothing's late yet.
True.
Nothing will technically be late until tomorrow at 8:01 p.m.
That's true. I have seen an increased number. My Target order is a perfect example of things that I have bought online, not even related to PlayStation or consoles at all, just stuff I bought, toilet paper, you name it, something I'd shipped to the house, where the tracking information does not even update, and I have it in my house.
I'm checking my financial apps right now, but I had that same thing, dude. I got a notification for my Pulse 3D headphones. I got a notification for the DualSense wireless headset. I got an email saying that my charging station for the DualSense controllers was going to be delayed until October
Okay.
30th. The same day I got the email that said it was going to be late,
It
it showed
showed
up at my
up, yeah.
house, and it still hasn't updated on their end.
Yeah,
So
so it's hard to say. I guess where I get frustrated is in my industry, working a lot with computers and working a lot on the IT side of things. What the idea of tracking something once it leaves the warehouse, I totally understand. You are relying on FedEx or UPS or USPS or whoever to kind of deliver it. I get that. The fact that they can't even tell you that it's in the warehouse or, hey, we have your copy, it's sitting here, the trucks are backed up, we're sorry. That's the part that really frustrates me because that is totally in their control. And you see the fever pitch of people wanting to know where their stuff is. Obviously, we've been waiting for this. 2020 has been a hell of a year that we need something to look forward to.
oh my God, do we need
But
some
right,
sort of
like
update?
that little bit of information goes such a long way. And I see stuff on Twitter, that Reset Era forum I mentioned, that long post. NeoGAF has got a very similar one. Reddit's got a very similar one. Even the official PlayStation Facebook group, which is the most toxic site on the planet,
Yes.
has information. And when people get a spark of something, like, oh, my credit card didn't yet charge, but I did this and it happened, I feel a sense of relief. That news is like wildfire. It blows up so fast. So for Walmart to just say, hey guys, look, we have them. It's an automated process. Or even just say, look, we have, and I'm making up a number, 10,000 PlayStations in our warehouse right now, and we're gonna just tell us anything. Maybe it'll help out a little bit, and I think that little bit of information might calm some people down.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what the net payment terms to Sony
Yeah.
are, and the legal paperwork that dictates whether or not Walmart can release them prior to payment or whatever. Who knows? Dude, who the fuck knows, honestly, at this point, what financial impact COVID has had on Walmart's accounts payable? And like, if they're in default to Sony and there's like a no ship clause and whatever
Oh,
their
okay.
agreement is, who honestly, who knows? Nothing would surprise me. I work for a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, and there's been, I can't allude to anything other than pay attention to what I was just talking about. What could potentially be happening with a Walmart? Like, there's massive companies that you never expect these to hear about
Heard
these
it.
things, but
Yeah.
guess what? Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. I think everybody assumes that life. We know life is not normal. Obviously, right now it's a very strained economy, a lot of stress just in general in the workplace. I get it, and I suspect also the people that are going to work, probably nervous as well, just not to get sick. And I get it. So people are going to be more cautious. They're going to be slower when they work. I get it. I understand all of that. Um, and I guess I just to me I think of just honesty being the best policy in this case. Just let us know. And honestly, if the answer is, and I get it, the legal thing makes total sense what you're saying, but if the answer is, hey, we are totally ape shit upside down backwards, we're working on the problem, we're sorry. Just say that. I mean, it's a bad message. Does their stock get hurt? Maybe. I don't know. But like, I think that openness and that transparentness will trump any bad news just in the sense that, hey, at least they're telling us something.
yeah. But the thing is, like, it may it may hurt their stock a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, they can't afford that
No,
this
you're
year.
right.
Like, in a different year, yeah, maybe. This year, with dividends about to be paid out at the end of the year, they can't. So I imagine that someone within the corporate structure at Walmart does want to do the right thing, but the shareholders
They're in
are the board
charge.
of
Yeah.
directors. It's like, well, if you do anything to fuck up our EBITDA, our stock valuation, and fuck up our
Right.
dividends, oh man. Ugh.
So here's what I wonder though. Is there ever a chance to be some sort of middle ground? And probably not. I know I'm talking probably very ultra pie in the sky. Like we're gonna the CEO of Walmart's gonna call you. Hey Jim, listen, I've been on the phone all day, but I want to tell you you're a valued customer. I think the problem in a thing like this is that we're really dependent on these companies. Like we don't, the age old answer: speak with your wallet. Well, if you don't want to get a console, fine, but these things aren't going to be around after this initial wave. It's going to be a while before we see more. So you're going to have to kind of take it if you want to get it. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have to deal with this. And it sucks that every single console launch, which should be a fun, exciting time, and we got a lot of cool show notes about, we're going to talk about here in a little bit of fun, exciting things we want to do when we get this thing. Man, does this put a freaking dark cloud over your head, like before you even get the damn thing.
Yeah. But as soon as you have it in your hands and it turns on and it glows blue and you hear it working and you see it working, you forget all about that. All of that melts away and we'll never think about it
That's
again.
true.
I just need to get to that point. I just want to get to that point, Jim. I really
This
do.
man needs it. He's look at his hands. His hands are shaking. He needs that. He needs those sweet, sweet confirmation numbers. Well, being on the other side of getting a confirmation number, I have zero confidence. I really, really do. I think my best bet is probably the Best Buy in-store pickup that I have, but I have yet to see anything on that, and it's supposed to be tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna get up in the morning, and maybe I'll have a bright, shiny email with a barcode on it, and I can go to Best Buy and get it. I don't know. We'll have to. I guess the other part of it for me is, got this kind of thing, this hurricane thing kind of blowing through. I mean, I might not have a house, but that's cool. I'll have a PlayStation.
It's so big you could live in it.
Well, in my defense, and I am exaggerating slightly, I think the hurricane isn't nearly as bad as the news makes it out to be. However, you never know. And I'll tell you what, until you've lived through one of these, and I've lived through many, you just kind of have to accept that, like, Jesus takes the wheel. At a certain point, the windows are closed, you got your bottle of water, you're ready to go hide in the closet, and you just wait. And hopefully it's not your day, but who knows, man. Um,
They're scary, man. I lived through 5. I lived through 5 when we lived in North Carolina.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling because like the pressure in your ears change, and I don't know, you hear these weird noises, your house is creaking, windows are creaking. It's like, I don't think a house was meant for this. I mean, they've built them pretty well, but you never know. Um, so wrapping up the conversation with the hopes and dreams potentially being, just shattered. Um, Target seems to be, out of all of them, the ones that are the most. They've sent things out, but for whatever reason, they did not vouch for fast shipping. So a couple of my friends who got their consoles from Target did receive emails. They're not showing up until a week from now. Not showing up until like next Wednesday or next Thursday. I guess, hey, it's better than nothing, but Target has always had this policy of shipping on the date. So a lot of other consoles and companies, Ubisoft does this with like that Valhalla collector edition I got. They ship it like on a Sunday so that you get it on the launch day. Target ships it on the launch day so you get it on Sunday.
Fucking pieces of shit, man. I hate Target.
I don't know if I mean, clearly it's a money thing, right? I mean, you pay less for expedited shipping or regular shipping versus expedited shipping, but it seems that most people from Target's orders seems to have gone through. But I don't know, man. I miss the days of Toys R Us when I was a kid, just walking in and getting what I wanted when I was a kid. Life made sense back then. I probably didn't get it on launch day because I was too stupid to know any better. But here we are. I've lived through many of these console launches, and they never get easier. They've never gotten easier, and it's still just as frustrating today as it was last time. And if there is a PlayStation 6 and we're still doing the show, I guarantee you we're going to be bitching about it.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if we're still doing this show 6 years from now?
We could be, man. War never changes. The podcast never changes either.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
I guess we'll focus on some positive stuff. You had asked me before, and we had done a couple episodes on this, discussing the power of a console. You're kind of like your dollar per power, if you want to think of it like your buying power. And try as hard as I could, I was unable to match the PlayStation or Xbox dollar amount with what I thought would be a dream PC build. And I have seen a lot of technical reviews on what these consoles can do, and it is nothing short of impressive. Really, nothing short of impressive. Super, super, super excited. A lot of the Xbox backward compatibility stuff is rivaling my monster computer, which is mind-boggling, honestly. Even the Series S, which is downscaled, can perform some crazy things. And I'm seeing some really good numbers, even though it seems like PlayStation is going to be the weaker box this time. I am seeing a lot of really good results from PlayStation as well. So I think this is going to be one of the biggest jumps in performance we've seen in a long time. Long time.
So this is our Hellcat moment.
That's right. I feel, like I think back to like watching cutscenes in like PlayStation 1 and then playing cutscene like graphics in PlayStation 2, seeing and working my way up the chain. I got to admit, in hindsight, now that we are wrapping up the era of the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, I think they kind of dropped the ball in this generation. I really do. The consoles were built like shit. My PlayStation sounds like an airplane taking off all the time. The base Xbox One was garbage. Am I wrong?
It's a great console, built very well. Mine lasted, I used it almost every day for 7 years and never had a single problem with it, ever.
You are a unicorn, sir. And you know as well as I do, when that console came out, it was radically underpowered. They gutted Kinect. They gutted all of that TV overlay, that split screen. Remember for a while they had where you could watch TV in one corner and play a game in another? They gutted all that. Phil Spencer really saved that console, bringing in the S and the X. But that was not the next generation jump I think we all wanted it to be. I mean, I really do believe that. And I'm picking on PlayStation 2 as well, or PlayStation 4 as well. I think that I'm not saying it was a horrible generation. Some good things came out of it. But it was looking in hindsight, it definitely was the powerhouse we thought it should be.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I guess the big distinguishing thing between my Xbox One and my Xbox 360 is my Xbox One never spontaneously caught fire. So I had a much better user experience with it. But no, dude, even so obviously I just got the CyberPunk 2077 edition Xbox One X back in June when it launched. So from whenever in 2013 to this previous June, I played on the original Day One edition Xbox One. And you know what, dude? You convinced me one day to download Forza Horizon 4. That game ran beautifully. It looked beautiful. We had a lot of. I don't have a single complaint about my Xbox One. I just don't. And you know what? I might be the rare one off, but I only needed mine to work, and mine did work. So.
You're also the guy who played Switch Skyrim, which. So my point is that game ran like shit. Like Flipbook,
Dude, it was a PS3 game.
and it looked like it, and it ran bad, and the draw distance was horrible, and you would be lucky to get 15 to 20 frames a second ever.
Time out.
Go ahead.
Despite all that, was it not one of the most fun games you've ever played in your life?
When I played it on PlayStation 3 at launch, yes. When I got it for PlayStation 4 Pro and it ran like garbage, no, because I quit playing it. Because it gave me a headache because it looked like ass.
Dude, you played it for 2 months straight. And we're loving it. We were texting every day about it. You starting playing it again is the reason I bought it for Switch and started playing it again.
You're saying that I bought it on Pro and that's why you bought it on Switch.
Yes. Because you talking about Skyrim made me want to play it again.
Don't you think for the price you paid for a Switch, the price you paid for a PlayStation, the price you paid for an Xbox, the performance was lacking? You really honestly are going to tell me that you think that these current consoles, PlayStation 4, Switch, Xbox, they were powerful enough and you were like, oh, this is good?
I had the time of my life playing Skyrim on Xbox One.
Time of my life. Well, if that's the case,
It wasn't the Xbox's fault that the game was a buggy piece of shit.
well, if that's the case, then why buy it? Why do you want a Series X?
What do you mean?
If you're happy with the performance of your basic bitch Xbox One, forgetting the CyberPunk edition, if it ran great and you loved it, then just keep the train rolling. Play all the games on that. Then don't get a PlayStation 5. Don't get a Series X. Don't get a Series S.
Why would I do that?
Well, you just said it was fine. Why spend money on upgrading if it looked good to you?
Well, no, it's not that it looked perfect. It did its job, Jim, and it did its job venerably for a long time. Was it perfect? Was it the most powerful console I've ever played? Absolutely not.
If I lean into this, can you hear me roll my eyes?
Fun.
Can you hear is the microphone picking up me rolling my eyes?
Jim, you're an elitist cocksucker. Okay, that's all that amounts to. And everyone who watches this show, all three of them, know this about you. So that you can take that with a grain of salt. But my Xbox One did its job for 7 years, and that's all I needed it to do. I had fun. Until I met you, I never paid attention to any of this. The frames per second, whatever. It's like, oh, this gigantic horse can walk straight up the side of a mountain. That's awesome. I can travel faster now. That's a feature.
I think there's probably a descendant of some Japanese soldier still living in some island somewhere fighting World War II. But that doesn't make it right. And once he realizes what an asshole he's been, he's like, well, I'm going to go home and live a normal life. And we're going to say, yes, come enjoy us. Wear a mask, but come enjoy us. With you, hearing you talk about the joy you had of things, I'm not saying I'm not a gamer. I'm wearing a gaming shirt right now. My life is gaming. For you to think I'm not a gamer, I'm not saying you are, but that's the farthest from the truth. We demand and we deserve better. And I'm hoping this generation will deliver on promises that we should have gotten 10 years ago that I've been enjoying as a PC gamer for probably 15 years by now. The way that I saw that. The way that Grand Theft Auto 5 ran, as fun as it was being in a motorcycle gang with you, as fun as it was doing missions and playing the escape, the chase game where you had a car and you had to stop the car, and remember we had to I forget the name of the mode. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, that was a blast.
Phenomenal. I'm not taking away from that. I loved it. It ran so bad that if it ran better, you would enjoy it more. I'm telling you the reason you like Modern Warfare Warzone so much, it is a fun new mode for you to play, but it looks good and it plays well. If it didn't look good, if your frame rate stuttered in the middle of a firefight and you weren't able to get a beat on somebody, if you opened a loot box and it took 5 seconds for the contents to spill out, you would say, this sucks. They've made that game good, and that's why it's the most popular Battle Royale game. That's what I'm saying.
You're right, man. Dude, you're points always have validity. Okay? You make excellent points, but that doesn't detract from the validity of my statement either, which is, for me, for what I was
understand.
expecting of it, my Xbox did the job. That's all.
I understand.
Would I go back to that Xbox having experienced the power of my Xbox One X? Not in a million years.
After you have steak, you don't go back to chicken. I get it. Yeah, so I guess my point is my hope for the future and everything I've seen, this looks really promising. Everything in the next generation really gets me excited. It makes me think that we have really a better chance, better hardware, better experiences down the road. The games are still going to be fun. That's not going to ever change. But they're going to look better and they're going to play better. And I'm excited for that. So here's to hoping that the PlayStation 5 doesn't sound like a freaking jet engine. Here's to hoping Xbox doesn't have to gut their user interface 6 months in because they got it wrong. I'm hoping they nailed it out of the gate. And from what I've seen, the early games I've seen, they look really damn good. And I'm really excited. There's a lot of games that I played that I didn't have a good experience with, like Sekiro, which ran like total shit on my Xbox One X. I cannot wait until I get a Series X and play that game at 60 frames a second the way it was meant to be played. I cannot wait for that. So I'm excited, but we got to get the damn thing first, like you said.
I know that this could never happen in a million years, but I really hope with all of my being that when you get your Xbox Series X and you power it on for the first time, all you hear is, "Hi, I'm Don Matrick. Welcome to Xbox," and it blows.
It blows up. It's one of the inside paper. It's a sheet of paper with him, that famous photo of him like this on the press conference, and it's like the Inspector Gadget, like the bomb. You just see it going like a really loud. What are you most looking forward to with your PlayStation 5? Is it a game? Okay, yeah, I got it. Getting it. Okay, we got to get the damn thing before. Okay, we get it. You plug it into that rat's nest of all those wires you have. Good luck finding out where any of that shit goes. You plug it in, you feed all the. Okay, it's on. It turns on. You're sitting there. You got the DualSense in your hand. It fires up. What are you excited for the most? Getting on chat, playing Modern Warfare, playing a game, checking out the UI. Like what are you going to immediately gravitate to? Or are you have no idea? You're just going to just let it go. What's your thoughts?
I won't be able to do what I want to do most because you will be busy with Demon Souls. So, because I know that, I am most looking forward to getting Spider-Man and playing the PS4 game.
Welcome. See, this is what I mean. Every time you try to make any points about like gaming, I think like this dude has not played Spider-Man. Like, how dare you? How dare you? I'm just kidding. You're gonna love it, man. It's a phenomenal game. What do you want to do most though? What's the one thing? I mean, it's not like I'm playing Demon Souls in like a cave and I'm never gonna come out. But like, what?
Well, I want to play the new Call of Duty with you.
Dude,
obviously.
We're gonna play it when I get it. It comes out Friday. I'm gonna play it with you.
Yeah, but you're gonna be wanting to play Demon Souls. I'm not gonna fuck with you
all
when you're
day. You mean I can't? You mean like we'll play Call of Duty? Don't worry. Don't worry, baby.
Bro, you're making fun of me, and I'm
making fun
like
of you.
I'm being courteous and considerate of you in fucking advance. Fuck you. Okay, take your gay little wheelie chair and wheel yourself out that door and fucking up or down a set of stairs. I don't care as long as you get hurt.
As long as you get hurt. Oh my god. I gotta write a note here. Yeah, I don't know, man. No, I'm doing show notes as we're talking, timestamps. I'll tell you what. For me, I'm really looking most forward to. This is gonna sound really dumb. Some of the options in the console, because for whatever reason, PlayStation's been so shady with us on what the hell this UI actually looks like. The 3D audio thing, I'm very fascinated by that. I'm very fascinated by the HDR, the output resolutions, really nerdy tech stuff. Just like, I want to get lost in settings. I want to read settings, understand. Dude. Hey guys, actually, power on options. How long does it take for the controller to turn off? Screensaver settings, noises. Like I want to just customize this thing and just make it awesome. I know you can change the way the UI looks. You can toggle things on and off. I want to get into all that before I even start playing a game. I want it just to look and run. That's what I do with a computer. First thing I do when I get a computer, I'm deleting stuff. I'm updating config files. I'm cleaning it up. I'm making it my own. And I think now with these generation consoles, we're going to finally be able to do that.
I'm excited to get into the UX and dig around. I am. I can't make fun of you for that. I don't think I'm going to take it. Well, actually, you poor stupid bastard. Jim, how did you set yours up?
I know you are. Yeah, this is another Phil story since we're just piling on with Phil. I love that you and I were talking and you're like, man, I got this state-of-the-art TV. I got this the Xbox One X. This thing looks great. And I'm like, well, do you have HDR on? You're like, yeah, I turned it on. And I'm like, did you? And you go into that Xbox settings, you know the page I'm talking about with all these green checks. And you're like, all my things are red X's. What does that mean? And I'm like, well, Phil. So without knowing the model of your TV, I had to figure out what the hell you had, figure out how to change it, tell you how to change it, and then you're like, whoa, it looks really good. And I'm like, yeah, dude. So I am 100% sure when the PlayStation comes out, I will blaze the trail again, and then I'll say, all right, Phil, come hither. This is how you get it to look really good.
I pray that none of you stupid bastards watching this show ever have Jim have to help you with anything, because you will.
It is really belittling.
You won't hear about it while it's happening. He's very kind while it's going down, but he's putting together a schedule of, I'm going to rip into him on this day, and this day, and this day, and me. Fuck you.
I just hope, honestly, there were a lot of settings that were in both PlayStation and Xbox that were not very user intuitive, all kidding aside. I was really tired of having to watch YouTube videos. I mean, good for me because I've been making them and I'm making a shit ton of money doing it. But like, I shouldn't have to explain this to people. It should just be intuitive. And I hope that they figured out a way to make it easier for people to just jump in and really get the most out of it. And in all honesty, if you had never turned on HDR, you may have never noticed, honestly, because it looks pretty. The colors look great. Everything's vibrant. It's pretty. But you know it's even prettier when you have it on. Yeah. So it's a thing like that. I wonder how many people just are like running these things at like 40% because they just don't know better.
You guys have never seen anything as beautiful as Jim playing Red Dead Redemption with one nipple exposed in HDR, kidnapping a man off his horse, wrapping him up, and throwing him into crocodile-infested water over and over as the sun slowly crests down behind him.
And a nice twang of country music and crystal clear Dolby audio surround sound. Bling. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, for me, I guess, I just hope that we can, I have a lot of hope for this generation. I really hope this is the real leap we needed. I really do mean that for both Xbox and PlayStation. I want people to get the most out of these things, and I do pick on a lot of people. I am definitely a PC elitist, but I see the way games look, the way they should look, and I play them the way they should be played. And it's frustrating to see so many people not getting the experience I'm getting. And I'm hopeful that this changes with this generation and people can really see what next-gen gaming really looks like. I really, truly hope that. I really do. I want that for everybody.
Dude, I love you, but that's a super unrealistic expectation.
Probably.
You play a $7,500 gaming rig.
It goes up every time we talk.
Okay.
You spend $47 billion on your computer.
Okay. 5,000. I was pretty sure that the number 7,500 got thrown out there, but that may have been you and Rachel's computers together. You still play a $4,000 gaming rig, Jim. Like, that is not attainable for a large percentage of the population.
It could be. Save your money. Listen, quit going out and drinking. Stay home. Don't eat out. Yes, you're right. I do very well for myself. I have a nice computer, but the 60 I was running Grand Theft Auto 5 on my graphics card, my 980 Ti, to give you an idea. This was like a 6-year-old graphics card. I was able to play Grand Theft Auto 5 at 60 frames a second. Why couldn't I do that on my Xbox One X?
Wow.
It's because I took the time to change the settings and make it look pretty. And I didn't just shit out software as a lot of these companies do. And it's just frustrating. I don't know. I guess you'll see what I genuinely hope this. I really truly hope this. You're getting Assassin's Creed. This will be the first Assassin's Creed game you play that runs at 60 frames a second, and you're going to look at it and go, "Holy shit." And I'm going to say, "Yes, this is what I've been trying to tell you."
I'm excited to play that with you. Can we co-op that?
I don't think so. We could talk while we're playing. We could co-op our
Okay.
So we talked about next generation. We talked about this is what I wanted to ask you about. What do you think? This is a fun little game. We're gonna play a little game. Really make a note here. Little interlude before we wrap up with what you're playing. Phil's game. Phil, we talk a lot about Xbox. We talk a lot about PlayStation on this show. I obviously talk a lot about PC Master Race because, you know, we're the one percenters of the one percenters, the ultra wide master racers. Oh, yes, dude. Yep. Gallons of it. Gallons. Just splooge cannon. Just, lower back pain from just carrying around this thing. Let me tell you, I have a question for you, sir. I have the numbers on my screen of the last generation, which I'm going to include as PlayStation 4, whether it's Pro or regular, Xbox, all the iterations of those, and Nintendo Switch. What was the best-selling game of last generation? I have the top 10, by the way. I just want to point this out. And I will tell you... No, I don't want to tell you anything. I want you to first guess the game.
I would think either Animal Crossing or Breath of the Wild.
I will tell you that Animal Crossing is number 2. 26 million units sold. And that game just came out, so you know it's going to keep going up.
So what's number 1? It's not Breath
of the Wild is number 5. 19 million units sold. Number 1, Mario Kart 8
Tetris.
Deluxe.
Oh.
To round out the top 5, Super Smash Brothers, Pokemon, Breath of the Wild. Number 6, Pokemon. Number 7, Mario Odyssey. Number 8, Mario Kart 7. Number 9, Pokemon. Number 10, Uncharted 4. 9 of the top 10 games are Nintendo games. Can you believe that?
So after all that, like, we can't wait for you to see this next generation power, blah, blah, fucking blah. 9 out of the 10 best-selling games were on a stupid $200 piece of shit in reality console.
Isn't that insane? Isn't that crazy?
Dude, fucking Nintendo knows what they're doing, man. Just make the same thing over and over again, but make it good.
I'll tell you what, I was really surprised by that because I really had thought God of War, I thought Spider-Man, I really thought those games were trending, pushing the needle. Horizon Zero Dawn, definitely I thought a must-play game. I'll even go as far as say third-party games. I thought Monster Hunter World performed very well. Resident Evil Remake, Resident Evil 2 Remake I thought was very popular, but not a single Xbox game in the top 10. One PlayStation game squeaking in the 10th spot. Despite all the talk about power, despite all the talk about everything, you're 100% right. Nintendo knows their shit, and that is why those guys have got it going on. It is incredible to me they are able to do 8 Mario games. So much so that the number 8 game is Mario Kart 7, and the number 1 game is Mario Kart 8. Their sequels are outside. I mean, they're killing it. Do you think Nintendo will respond to this new generation, or do they just not care?
I don't think they give a shit. Weren't we supposed to see like a Switch Pro or something?
Maybe they don't. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. You know,
who knows? Who knows? They're like the most reclusive, batshit crazy company.
Batshit crazy Nintendo. Yeah, I just wanted to do that. We haven't played a game in a while, and I thought it would be fun. Fun little, a lighthearted moment before we get into my favorite part of the show. To wrap up, Phil, what are you playing? And there's only one answer, and we're going to talk about it. But Phil, what are you playing?
I'm playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone with you. Battle Royale.
Welcome to the fold, baby. Now, I really thought I tried to get you into this before. I really did. And maybe it was Ground War.
It was Ground War. I told you it wasn't Warzone. It was
I
Ground
could have
War.
sworn we played Plunder. I could have sworn we played Plunder, but if you didn't, you have a better memory than me, and I do believe you. But I want to talk to you about your thoughts. Now, what do you think about this game? And why is it the best freaking thing you've ever played?
One, whether or not this transpired is no longer up for debate because I literally showed you the page where they're like, hey, you've never played this before. You have to take a tutorial. So, fuck you on that mark. Second, it's fun because you and I are in constant communication and it's terrifying the entire time. It's terrifying the entire time. And it's just fun. It's like this massive map and you're just constantly getting like we're like sitting up in this attic, like you're like, Phil, do you hear those footsteps? I'm like, yeah, man, yeah. I hear those footsteps. We're like, we've got fully loaded automatic machine guns, and we're worried about some idiot running by, totally unaware of our existence. But I don't know, man. It's just like that feeling of impending danger and like the vast expanse of the map and like the gas mechanic and constantly being in communication with you and like I hate I hate those runs across the open field, but man, I stand up out of my seat and I'm crushing that button as I pace back and forth.
Yeah, man, it's intense. It's a definite adrenaline dump for sure. You definitely, after a game like there, depending on how intense it was, my hands are shaking because it was just so intense. Of like, oh my god. It's a very popular genre. I think what I like about it so much is there's so many different ways to play. Um, you can be extremely aggressive, like some of the really popular streamers, like Shroud and Doctor Disrespect. They'll go stand out in the open and shoot their gun in the air because they want to attract attention, because they want to be like they want to fight people, they want to get 30, 40 kills a game. You can obviously take a slightly different approach, which is what you and I have had some pretty good success with, in terms of being a little, gearing up, initial firefight or two, and then laying low and just waiting and trying to emerge, like a top five finish, popping out at the end, which those are extremely intense. And then there's a mode we haven't yet played, which I saved it because I want to see your face. It's called a Sasquatch. Did I ever tell? I don't think I told you about Sasquatch, did I? Sasquatch mode it's just a made up mode. There's no game mode called Sasquatch. But Sasquatch is trying to live as long as possible, picking up no guns, being a pacifist, running and hiding like a little bitch. And I gotta tell you, I have to tell you, Phil, I've played PUBG, I think it's about 1,000 hours now. I actually won a game as Sasquatch. Never fired a shot, never picked up a weapon. I won because two guys fought each other and died to the poop, and I walked in. In PUBG, you could take your clothes off, so I was just in my underwear. Barefoot in my underwear, and I won the game like that. Probably my proudest gaming moment. So at some point, we are going to Sasquatch. We're going to pick up no guns. We're going to just carry our pistol. I don't think you could drop it. Maybe if we can drop our pistol and just be bare knuckle, that's what we're going to do. We will pick up no guns, no loot, no armor plates. We will run. We will hide. We will crawl. And we'll see how far we get. And I promise you will laugh.
Let's do it tonight when we play. That should be the first thing we do.
I promise you will laugh. It's a fun mode. It's fun. Yeah, I really like Modern Warfare, and I'm super excited. I think my love for it just quadrupled over the last few weeks. Really realizing all the stuff. They just came out with this big expansion earlier in the week. Well, I shouldn't say expansion, a patch. But where Black Ops is fully integrated into it now. All the operators are there from Black Ops and from Modern Warfare. All the guns are carrying over. it just seems to be getting even better. They're doing more and more stuff. They could have totally just thrown this map away, thrown these characters away, thrown these weapons away. But instead, they are doubling down. They're bringing more people in. I think it's just going to get better, man. I really do. And it's such an addicting mode. It really is just a ton of fun. And you will think about strategies too. You will like, oh, we should go hide here. Like, I'll stay in here. You'll stay in here. Like, you think about this shit. It's fun. It's really fun.
I don't think, like, unless you ask me a direct and pointed question or we're in a fucked up situation, I don't like to offer much guidance because I don't know what I'm doing. I just like to follow you around, and God forbid there's someone far across the map that's shooting at us. That's what I'm there for. I'm there to fucking snipe that guy. And other than that, you are the unquestioned leader of our fire team. You're like, let's go over here and search these houses. I'm like, this is terrifying. Okay, I'm going to follow you.
Well, there will be in time, I mean, I wouldn't say there's definitely there is strategy to it, but I think it's one of those mentalities, and it's something that I do a lot at work. And it's the quote that I always say is that a leader doesn't have to be right, they have to be first. And in a game like that, hesitation is death. So when you land, if you don't, that's why I'm like, hey, do you like the guns you have? Do you like the gear you have? Do we need to move? Are you happy here? Because if you're not and you wait, it's going to get worse. It's always going to get worse. The resources will dry up. The map will constrict. You will be exposed. And you do not want to go into that final circle with no armor plates and a pistol against some dude with full armor plates and some legendary flame-throwing rocket launcher flame machine gun thing. Like, you just don't want to do it. Doesn't matter how good you are, your shit will get wrecked.
Yeah, agreed.
So, yeah, it's cool. I'm glad you're into it, and I'm super excited that the fun train will continue with Black Ops. Really, with Xbox and PlayStation, the cross-play now, being able to play across platforms, being able to take your progress with you to the next generation. For you being an Xbox guy, making the jump to the Sony team. All your battle pass progress will carry over. Your operator, you know what I mean? Like, that's cool shit. Like, that's smart. That's a really smart design. So,
oh yeah, that's right. I'm going to lose all my stuff, aren't I?
No, you're going to log in with your Activision account, and your shit's going to come with you, just like I log in with my Activision account on my PC, and I can cross-play on PC with PlayStation, and I have my progress.
I don't know if I have an Activision profile.
And with that, no, I'm sorry.
I'll look into it.
Well, you should have one. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're the one guy who never got one.
Whatever. Well, folks, much like my PS5 pre-order status, war never changes. Fuck you all. Good night.
I think you have an act. I'm gonna stick with this for a minute. I like the accent, but I want to say this in closing.
That's my outro.
I get it. I'm not done. Listen, I said I'd commit to an hour. I still have a minute left. I want to say this. I think you have an Activision account, and I think your progress will carry over. And I will help you do that. I'll tell you in closing what I'm most excited about, and then we'll just fade to black because you're done up here. You're done. You said your piece. Here, you know what? I'll just turn you off. There. It's gonna be me now. And here we go. Bye, phone. No, I'm just kidding. I'm really excited that you will be on the same platform as me so that I can talk to you during fucking loading screens. I could talk to you playing a different game. I could send you a message. I could send you an invitation, and it just will fucking work because I am so tired of this crossplay shit when it's like it doesn't work, it cuts out, it's annoying. So for me, I'm super stoked that you are jumping over to the winning team, and we're going to be able to play Black Ops on our PlayStation 5s at some point. Maybe tomorrow, maybe in 10 years from now.
Who knows? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. But when we have an update, we will talk about it. I predict a week from today, I will be off. I'm taking all next week off. I predict a week from today, we will both have our consoles. That's I'm feeling it. That's what I'm saying. Maybe sooner, maybe not later, maybe sooner. All right, sir. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Stay on the line. There's something I'm going to tell you after the show is over. For everybody else, I hope you guys enjoyed War Never Changes. Remember, we do this every single week, so we will see you 1 week from now. Take care and comb your hair.